Okay, so let's imagine a scenario. You're sitting at your desk, scrolling through your bank app, and you see that balance. You know the one that's not quite where you want it to be, but doesn't make you panic either. It's like just enough to cover the bills, but you're not exactly seeing the light at the end of the financial tunnel. Maybe you've got a solid salary and things are pretty stable. But when you really stop and think about it, you feel like you're stuck in the same place financially. You're working hard, doing your best, but for some reason, it feels like you can't break past a certain threshold. You know you should be saving more, but it's just tricky. All those expenses, unexpected costs, and yeah, let's be honest, that latest round of takeout because you just couldn't be bothered to cook. I get it. I've been there too. It's so easy to get stuck in this loop where your income doesn't change, but your expenses keep creeping up, and before you know it, you're left wondering, how do I break through this? The idea of making more money, getting that raise, scoring a new, higher-paying job sounds amazing, but changing your income feels like such an uphill battle. Here's the thing, though. You don't actually need to change your income to make $200,000. I know, sounds a bit wild, right? But trust me, there are ways to leverage what you already have, do some smart work, and watch that number grow without needing a new paycheck or title. And let me introduce myself here, by the way, before I dive too deep. My name's Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to glide through financial challenges while others stay stuck, even when they're doing everything right. I've been obsessed with figuring out how to build wealth without needing a dramatic shift in your life. Because honestly, most of us don't have time for radical changes. We need real, actionable steps we can implement today. So let's talk about how you can actually make $200,000 without changing your income. And trust me, when you see how it's done, you'll realize it's way simpler than you think. But first, let me ask you, what if your current financial situation isn't the problem? What if your mindset is? Let's dive in. Okay, before we start talking numbers and strategies, let's talk about your mindset. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen people get stuck because they just don't believe they can do it. You know, they're stuck thinking that only certain people can reach that level of financial success, or that wealth is just for the lucky few. The reality is, it's not about luck. It's about understanding how money works, having the right mindset, and making choices that set you up for success. Let me share a personal story here. A few years ago, I was in a place where I was working hard, doing everything right, but still couldn't break through to that next level financially. I was constantly this close to a breakthrough, but it never quite happened. Then, I started talking to people who were actually building wealth, not the ones who just had a little more than me, but the ones who were actively making money work for them. And you know what I realized? It wasn't that they were doing anything magical. They just understood something that I didn't. They knew how to make their money grow, no matter how much they had. Now, I'm not saying you need to get rich overnight. I'm not saying you need to become a stock market expert or dive into cryptocurrency. What I am saying is that you need to shift how you think about your money. Stop thinking about money as something that just comes in and goes out. Start thinking about it as something you can control, grow, and use strategically. This shift in mindset is critical for breaking through that financial barrier you're stuck behind. It's not about making more, it's about doing more with what you already have. Let's break it down. Imagine you've got $50,000 saved up. You might think, okay, great, but that's not going to get me to $200,000. But what if I told you that with the right mindset and strategy, that $50,000 could turn into $200,000 without needing a raise, without changing your income, just by understanding how to leverage what you already have? I'll get into how to do that in just a minute. But first, think about your current financial habits. How do you think about your money? Are you focused on saving, on building, or do you tend to avoid it, hoping everything will just work out? The first step is to change your mindset around money. It's not just about earning more, it's about being intentional with what you already have, all right? let's talk about one of the best ways to actually grow your money, investments. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nick, I don't have the time, expertise, or risk tolerance for stocks, bonds, or real estate. How can I make $200,000 without doing any of that? Here's the thing. Building wealth doesn't require you to be a stock market genius. You don't have to be some finance wizard to start investing and growing your money. In fact, the easiest way to grow your money is by getting it into investments that are designed to compound over time. Now, I get it. The idea of investing can feel intimidating. But think about it this way. The rich don't keep their money in savings accounts. They make their money work through investments that build over time. I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you have $50,000. Instead of leaving it in a savings account, you decide to put it into a low-cost index fund, something that tracks the overall market. Historically, the stock market has returned around 7 to 8% per year on average, after inflation. So, if you just let your $50,000 grow in a simple index fund, in 10 years, you're looking at an increase of around $100,000. That's without adding a dime, just letting it sit and grow. But that's not all. You can also reinvest any earnings you get, meaning the interest or dividends you make get put back into the investment, helping it grow even faster. It's like planting a tree and watching it grow bigger and stronger with each passing year. Before you know it, that initial investment turns into something much bigger. If you can stay disciplined and keep contributing, even just a few $100s a month, you'll see that $50,000 transform. The point here is this. You can grow your money without doing anything dramatic. You don't need to be a stock market expert. You just need to start. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about real estate. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nick, I can't afford to buy a house or an apartment right now. I'm barely making ends meet as it is. But hear me out. What if I told you that you could leverage real estate without actually owning a property? Crazy, right? There's a little thing called real estate investment trusts, or REITs, that lets you invest in real estate properties without actually buying the physical property yourself. The beauty of REITs is that they pool money from many investors to purchase real estate assets like office buildings, apartments, and shopping centers. Then, the rental income and any profits from selling the properties are distributed among the investors. So let's say you invest in a REIT with $10,000. Depending on the market and the performance of the properties, you could see a return of 6 to 8% annually. In 5 years, that $10,000 could grow to over $13,000. It's not as fast as other investments, but it's a low-risk way to get into real estate without all the headaches of property management. It's an easy way to get your money working for you, and it's a great long-term strategy if you're looking for a stable, passive income source. One of the easiest ways to reach $200,000 without changing your income is to simply automate your savings and investments. Sounds boring, I know, but this is key to financial success. Think about it. Every time you get paid, there's a natural temptation to spend. Maybe it's a new gadget, a weekend getaway, or just those extra few trips to Starbucks. But what if, instead, you automatically put a percentage of your income into savings or investments before you even touch it? This is one of the easiest ways to build wealth over time. Setting up automatic transfers into a high-yield savings account, an index fund, or even just a separate emergency fund can help you grow your money without thinking about it. It's like autopilot for your finances. So, there you have it. The path to making $200,000 without changing your income isn't about having some overnight windfall or radically transforming your financial situation. It's about making your money work smarter, not harder. It's about mindset, strategic investments, and creating systems that automatically help you grow your wealth without you constantly stressing over every penny. Think back to that $50,000 you might have sitting in an account right now. What if that's the seed? What if you could plant that seed, let it grow, and with patience and consistency, see it turn into something far bigger? It's not just a pipe dream. It's the result of making smart, incremental moves over time. The truth is, most people don't get rich because they're always waiting for the perfect moment to make more money or for some big paycheck to come their way. But that's the wrong approach. Wealth is built from the ground up through small, deliberate actions. It's about putting systems in place so that your money grows on autopilot, investing, automating, leveraging what you already have. And honestly, this is where the magic happens. This is where you go from feeling stuck in a financial rut to seeing real progress. It's in the mindset shift. It's in taking control of your financial habits and learning how to make your money work for you instead of the other way around. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I promise it will be worth it. Every little decision you make today compounds over time. Every investment, every dollar saved, every strategy you put in place, it all adds up. It's about consistency. It's about seeing the long-term picture. And before you know it, you'll be sitting there, looking at your balance and thinking, wow, I did it. So, if you take away one thing from this, let it be this. Don't wait for a bigger paycheck to start building wealth. Use what you already have. Stay consistent and let time do the heavy lifting. Remember, $200,000 is closer than you think. It's not a distant dream. It's a real possibility with the right steps. If you enjoyed this and you feel ready to get started, then it's time to take action. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Let's start making it happen.